Welcome back. And with me we have Zohar Beeri, the CEO of Novotalk. Welcome. Great to have you here.
Thank you.
And Arthur Bavelas of Family Office Insights.
Jane?
Welcome. So let's start with Zohar. So Novotalk provides the first end-to-end digital therapy for people with speech disorders. So that's kind of your headline, which sounds like a really interesting company. So tell me a little bit more about what you're doing.
So what we do is actually something that is very simple. You know, it's up until now, if you needed to have speech therapy, in our case, you needed to schedule with a clinician, with a clinic, drive to a clinic. You know, if it's your kid, you need to take a day off maybe, or time off from the office. And right now, what we provide is something that is available 24/7, all the time, and from the comfort of your home or your mobile device. And you go through the same therapy process that you would go within the clinic experience, but just on demand.
Mm-hmm. Is this an app?
Well, it's a combination of an app and a website.
Okay.
It's a very extensive framework that includes the models of therapy. We aim to use the best therapies available in the market today and just bring them online on demand to the people that need it.
So just walk me through it. Am I talking to another live human being, or is this kind of a virtual thing, or how does it work?
Nice. No, yeah, we have Emily. She's our virtual clinician.
Okay.
She's available 24/7. She's very fluent.
Doesn't need sleep. That's amazing.
She doesn't need sleep. She can take care simultaneously many people.
Okay.
She sees things that a regular clinician doesn't see. We have sophisticated and accurate algorithms that can detect any speech patterns that we need in order to provide the best possible feedback. And the feedback is provided real time, something that you can't have in the clinic. And our algorithms provide an analysis on how well you did, and they provide accurate feedback also at the end of the session. But most importantly, and this is something that you don't really get in a regular therapy, it actually helps you to implement those techniques outside of the clinic, whether it's just to exercise, or in some cases we challenge the users, the patients, to go out and implement the techniques that they learned in their real life. Something that for us sounds trivial, but sometimes going to a restaurant and ordering
Just placing an order is that real life application is important for people to learn.
And asking someone for a date. For
yeah,
us,
oh my
maybe
goodness.
it's trivial, but imagine if you have some speech impairments, that's a huge challenge.
I'm afraid to ask for a date anyway. I'm never independent of that.
So Arthur, why don't you jump in here? So you're working with Novotalk, helping them. What was it about the company that you thought was interesting?
Well, as often is the case, they came to us through Good DNA and friends of ours that said, look, this is a potential candidate to come and put in front of the community of family office investors. And so we looked at it with Zohar and said, okay, this is a good fit. I have a question, though, if you don't mind, that I think the viewers might also be wondering. In the context of something that will be helpful to people, I think it's pretty clear that this is valuable. In the context of a business, is this a scalable thing?
Well, scalability is built into the business just from the fact that it's an asynchronous delivery model. So you don't have, the availability of the clinician standing between you and the therapy.
So I know what that means. So when you say asynchronous, it means that it's what?
You don't need to schedule with a therapist, with a clinician in order to get therapy. This domain is usually characterized by lack of clinicians. There's a chronic lack of clinicians. And there are many similar professions, by the way. And so there's waiting time of 6 to 9 months on average for the best clinical practices just to get through the door.
And I don't want to price your product, but it's likely to be a fraction of the cost of a clinician.
That's true. We take out the main cost driver for therapy, and that's a clinician. So if old teletherapy practices took out the real estate component, essentially you don't need to, we took out the main cost driver, and that's the price of a clinician.
That your service is in replacement of a clinician, or would it be something that would supplement that?
It changes the role of the clinician. The clinician is becoming a data-empowered supervisor to the process. She has a very powerful dashboard powered by our algorithms that can highlight places where she needs to intervene. And at this point, you know, the same way when you won't fly a jet without a pilot,
Right.
she's still there. She's overseeing everything. She can intervene whenever she wants, but she's a supervisor.
Okay. So are you in the United States? And I also know you recently have a partnership with Mount Sinai Hospital here in New York. So
Yeah.
tell me about that and your expansion plans for the U.S.
So great. First, we're launching next month in the
Okay.
United States, and we're very excited about it. We finished all the regulatory components of, let's say, getting certified to start selling in the U.S.
How can somebody find out more about Novotalk?
Okay, so we're going live in the end of the month. At this point, we have a website. You can leave your personal details, and we'll get back to
And
you.
the website is?
Novotalk.com.
Novotalk.com. Okay, great.
Newspeech.com.
Okay, great.
Novotalk.
Thank you so
Very
much
simple.
for coming and explaining this. Thank you,
Thank you
as
for having
always,
me.
Arthur. And thank you as well for joining us. We'll be right back.